gotta leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink. I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one. I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
40.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. Thanks so much for joining us. Special shout out to Thomas and Absolute Zero warming up the YouTube chat over there. We're also live on Abstract if you prefer to catch the video there, as well as the X video spaces. And as always, YouTube. That's our that's the go-to the best chat for the chatters. Abstract pinned up top. I will grab YouTube here in a second. And hope everyone had a great Wednesday. I woke up a little under the weather today, and I think this might have been my final straw that I needed to begin my peptide arc. Rarely get sick. Also, I was fudding air travel, and that I was debating the drive versus fly. And long story short, decided to fly back to Ohio last weekend. In hindsight, I wish I would have drove. I'm assuming I got something on the flight. Also the downside of air travel, but I will be back to normal in no time. We are loading the elderberry and some other immune stuff to get us back full strength here in no time. Speaking of full strength, dropped a tough one last night in the lacrosse streets. Third time this year they've lost by just 2 goals and a couple silly mistakes. This team, we should have won. Like the other 2 teams that they lost to, they were really good teams. This one was good, but we were better. They got up 5-0 early, and then we came back, tied it. I think at one point might have been up by 1. And long story short, they were good at like playing keep away. Lacrosse is probably like the one thing about lacrosse I don't like is end of games, end of halves. Like there's no shot clock, and a team that can pass the ball well, it's just way too easy to keep away. It's very anticlimactic. Like they got up, they scored a goal in the fourth to go up 2, and I was like, it looked like 5 minutes. I was like, it's over. It's very, unless they make a mistake and a silly pass, like it's really hard to get the ball back without committing a foul. And then if you can commit a foul, they get a penalty shot. And it's the one thing I dislike about lacrosse is the ends can be very anticlimactic. You almost have to you got to almost get lucky, get a turnover, and then you have to win the draw. And if you lose the draw, the other team can just run out the clock. Anyways, I digress. Third game in a row tonight, back to back, which is not the norm. Last night's game was a makeup, and they hopefully they're well rested and can get back on the winning track tonight. But they've been running good, and it's just one game. Anyways, kind of a lot to get into. Surprising moves in the market, not necessarily Bitcoin and ETH, but we will hit on that shortly. Also, per the actually going to change the Spaces title. RWAs absolutely booming. Just crossed 26 billion, up 4x on the year. Pretty insane. GG's to the Pokemon and the BZ enjoyers out there. 26 billion, up 4x on the year on coffee. There we go. Done and done. We hit on the CPI print yesterday. We hit on inflation a little bit, and we did not get into the details, just high level. Might hit on that here a bit as well. Speaking of RWAs, we're going to do a deeper dive on that Kraken Nasdaq announcement. And if there's anything else on anyone's mind, drop your comments, questions in the chat. As always, it is a community-led show. The stage is open. If anyone would like to join the conversation, throw in a request to come up and join us. Be glad to get you in here. And as well as if there's anything out there that I've missed, let me know, because one thing I'm actually going to see if anyone else has any insight on is Avantis. It's a DEX on base. I got confused for a minute because the ticker showed Aerodrome. Aerodrome didn't rebrand, did they? This is it. I'll feel a little silly, but Avantis, big, it's the winner on the day, at least on the 24-hour, up 20%, was up 22% earlier. So I should have shorted it when I thought about it, because immediately I'm thinking, okay, what's going to be my trade of the day? Well, I don't feel great right now about longing anything. Yesterday, the pump of the day was XAI, and I thought about shorting that. I didn't, and sure enough, XAI down 12% today. So now I'm looking at, okay, trades of the day. If I'm not going to long something, the options to short are Avantis, which was the big winner at 22%. It's now number 2 behind Zero Bro. Zero Bro's up 20%, 21% on the day. This is, I think that's probably the easy short, unless there's something going on there now that I'm not aware of, because that's probably a random scam pump if I'm guessing. If anyone has any insight on Zero Bro or Zerebro, Zerebro's right? Zerebro. It should be Zero Bro. Zerebro is, it's not the right ticker. I'll find it. Anyways, Avantis. Let me show you this one so you can get a better idea of what I'm looking at. If anyone knows, because I think at it's at 55 million market cap, 173 FDV. It is down 7% in the last month, but on the last day it's up 20%, and I can't figure out why the pump. It's either taking off as a really viable DEX on base and it's underpriced at 55 million, or it's a scam pump and it's just going to speed run to zero. Any insight here would be appreciated. I know nothing about it other than the chart caught my attention because it was up so much on the day, and it's in the massive green candle, surged over 25%. It's pulled back a little bit, you can see, but at one point it was up even more. Now pull back, and it's got some volume as well. I mean, it's not doing nothing, but I'm just curious if any insight would be helpful. So Vantis is the first perp dex Base invested in. Okay, so Base did that announcement? Did they just announce that? Did the raise just get announced? Did we just find out Base got our Base invested in it, or was it just if they just announced an airdrop? To me, that's doubling down my reasoning to short this thing if an airdrop just got announced, because airdrops usually lead to sellers, and be weird that it pumps 20% on, hey, we're going to give away a bunch of tokens for free that people can sell. Appreciate you, Mayhem. Anyone else finds any info on Advantis, let me know, because if we're talking shorts, probably better to short the meme coin Cerebro as opposed to an actual DEX that actually makes money. But I just don't know. Try to find a good Cerebro chart. Here we go. So again, also up 20% on the day. This looks like a scam pump. If we're talking memes here, Cerebro FTV is only $8 million. $8. That's wild. If you're not familiar, if you're new here, this was try to do that calculation. Did this run up to $1 billion? Did it hit $1 billion? It was pretty close, if I'm not mistaken. This was one of the first AI coins, first AI agent coins. Andy the creator, and then if I'm not mistaken, then left. This was one where I don't know if Thread Guy actually booked gains on this one or not, but he was up big, like 6, maybe 7 figures on this at one point. I think I don't know if he still holds, but I don't think he exited at the top. But curious, fresh activity, see if we can find anything else on Cerebro. People longing it there. Bull trap detected. I just if this was, I actually expected this to still be like 50 to 100 million. The fact that it's 8 million market cap is the only thing keeping me from shorting it, because it probably wouldn't take a whole lot to pump this thing, keep pumping this thing. I wish when you hovered over here, I wish they showed you what that corresponding market cap was. I guess if there's 1 billion tokens, this would have been 785 million market cap at its peak, give or take. So didn't quite get to $1 billion, but ran up. It was like, I'm old enough to remember when it was like Fartcoin versus Cerebro. Anyways, let me know, chat. Should I short Cerebro or should we short Advantis today? Unless you're feeling something in your bones that we should long some majors. I need a trade of the day, and we're 2 for our last 2, so we're gonna make it a streak today with hitting on number 3. Good morning, opportunist, Brickadall. GW, appreciate you all in the chat. Thanks again for everyone who warms up this space. All those likes, reposts, bookmarks on the audio spaces are greatly appreciated. Getting this thing warmed up. X discoverability has been impacting us all as of late. And while we are really pushing our YouTube subs, and we'd love to see everyone over there like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the X video or X audio chat rather, remains our main distribution, and appreciate all the love getting this thing warmed up and helping others find us, because it's been a little bit of a grind in the last week, couple weeks, month or so. Not just coffee, but all spaces getting hit by something. I'm not sure what, but across the board, we're all feeling the maybe it's just people taking their bags and going home. Everyone's shifted to becoming situation monitors in the geopolitical space. I guess reality is there isn't a lot of activity in the crypto space per se, in terms of, yes, builders are building, not throwing any stones or taking any shots there. Just that I think it's kind of like, I think the law before the storm. We do have, I mean, it's March 12th, so there's a world. I don't know this. Don't read between the lines. I don't have any inside info, but there's a world where we get an OpenSea drop in 3 weeks, not even in 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. They've got a big announcement coming on March 31st. Some are speculating that is going to be the C. I don't think it'll be CTGE. I think it could be, we get more details. I think we could get the TGE date, maybe details around TGE. Hans, thank you very much for the Pingu tip. Greatly appreciated there. That's the best part of Abstract, is the tips. I just wish we could reciprocate and give tips back to our active participators. Speaking of RWAs, and RWAs being up 26 billion, appreciate you, Joey, sharing. Keep me updated on all things BZ. Collectors told us redemption should be easier, so they shipped it. Claim, pay, track, ship, all directly on BZ. Redemption just got upgraded. I'm not exactly sure what that means, other than it's easier to redeem your NFTs for the physical assets. What was upgraded though? What's changed from how it was before? Claim, pay, track, ship. What was the process previously, Joey? If you want to fill in the details there, let me know. But looks like okay. So Kuro was saying had to crash out after 2 months to get a card. We heard you. So again, good moves. People are happy. Easier to redeem. I've not redeemed something on BZ yet. I do have a pair of sneakers that I should sell or redeem, although I think they're too small for me, if I'm not mistaken. Joey, GM, tell us about this this BZ upgrade. What do we need to know?
GM guys. Yeah. So, our devs never ever stop building. It's crazy how much time and effort they're putting into continuing upgrading. But essentially, when we first launched BZ, as everybody knows, unlike a lot of the other platforms, we didn't raise, multiple 7, 8, 9 figures. It's been bootstrapped. It's been, we've been grinding for almost 3 years now. So our redemption process was very manual. You would, click to redeem on our website. You'd get an email from support that, then you would confirm your redemption through email. Then we would email you a Stripe link, and then, you would have to manually send us your NFT, your digital copy, and then that would get burned. And then, so it was a very, I'll be honest, annoying and like extended process, because it was all done old school via email.
Hard to scale.
Yeah, very hard to scale. And, we have a feedback form that's always up for people to fill out anytime they want. We try to remind people every couple months if we launch something new, hey, go to the feedback form, let us know. And one of the biggest feedbacks was redemptions, because a lot of emails go into spam, or they go into the promotions folder, or they go and you wait a week and you're like, why isn't anybody emailing me about my redemption? So it's been completely automated. It's all on the website now. You go through the whole process. There's a tracking bar that shows you where you are in the process. So we're slowly and consistently upgrading all of the aspects to get us towards what we expect to be is scale that we can manage at greater levels.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you updating. Good move. Yeah, just positive move for better customer experience. Speaking of redemptions, I probably should flip these, and if I really want them, get a proper size. I have these in my BZ vault. They're 9.5. So I wear 10.5s normally, and I just Google search told me that these don't run. They run basically true to size, and if you have wider feet, which I don't really have wider feet per se, but they even say consider going up a half size. as they can feel restrictive in the toe box. So probably not going to redeem these. If they were 10s even, I would attempt to pull that off, but I don't have a pair of black sneakers. And while I'm not in the market for some per se, if I was, I would, if these fit, I would probably just redeem them, and those would be my black kicks. But yeah, I have another suggestion, Joey. Have you guys thought about not necessarily? I know you have the marketplace. Obviously, it's easy to buy and sell on BZ. Have you ever thought about trades? Have you ever thought about like a trade marketplace where I could say, hey, I want to trade these for another pair of, whether it's a specific sneaker or another pair of sneakers inside in a specific size, open to the model, but I need a 10.5. Ever been any discussion around trades on BZ?
Yeah, so those are trades are also a huge request from users, because not just sneakers, but in the TCG space, a lot of times you'll say, like, I have this $1,000 card you have this $1,000 card that I really want. I have this $500 card that you're open to, and if I give you $500, let's say I give you $600 in cash on top of the $500 card, would you do a trade? That's like very common at like card shows and stuff like that. So trades are definitely a high request. I tell everybody, like, our goal is to be just like, and I don't mean this in I mean this in a respectful way. We want to be like OpenSea. Like, we want to be able to, we want to be multi-platform. We want to, multi-chain. We want you to be able to use multiple forms of currency at any time. The trade feature that OpenSea launched two years ago was awesome. Like the trait, we get comments on like trait offers, right? Like, I just want to offer on specific traits. Like, it's my dream for BZ's marketplace to operate like OpenSea. So I think trades will come. I don't know when, but trades are a major part of the collectible space. So I see it happening.
Cool. Awesome. Well, appreciate you keeping us updated. And yeah, obviously don't turn on a feature just for me, but I would I would trade those sneakers if it was an option. Getting some extra information on Avantis, and because I was asking, is there a chance it's Aerodrome rebranded? Looking like Aerodrome might be leaving base. Wondering where they're going. And if that's the case, probably why it's pumping, as if Aerodrome does leave base, they would be the top benefactor. But we got a few people looking into it more. If anyone else is already deep in the Avantis streets or has a take there, let me know. Apparently Grok has a good summary, but unable to share that in Discord. I guess this is not breaking news. Came out yesterday. I missed it yesterday. Just now seeing it from Burnt Toast. Dort's a 9.5. Dort, you want to buy those Jordans off of me? They are yours if you'd like them. I'll trade you a pair of what is it? Air Jordan 3 retro black cat. Black cat sounds fancy. New in box, size 9.5. I will trade you those rare Air Jordan 3s, the retro black cats, for a Good Vibes Club. I won't even be picky. You can pick the one. Happy anniversary.
That's a hell of a trade,
right?
How much are those Jordans worth?
Like, I don't know, 150, $200, something like that. They're not worth a Good Vibes Club. Yeah.
You should ask him to buy you one of those monthly open editions.
I'd keep the Jordans over the monthly edition, but I am curious people's thoughts on Doodles. I will hold my comments and thoughts until anyone else shares. This just came out from Burnt Toast yesterday afternoon, though. Doodles AI beta next week. We're building the tools for a new era of dynamic world building. It starts with an image model that reimagines anything and everything through the Doodles lens. This is the first iteration of many. As the product evolves, we'll introduce the ability to turn your generations into physical objects, video with sound and dialogue, real-time AR, and gaming, all on the roadmap. Doodle AI aligns us with the speed and scale of the AI industry at large. Our colorful world can be plugged into new tech as it unfolds. Create with us. So cool. I think it's neat. I think we'll see more Doodles art on the timeline. We'll see things doodlefied. I do believe Doodles is identifiable IP. I think it's recognizable. I think they've done a good job, not just with the NFTs, but with everything they do. It's very easy to look at that and without seeing a name on it, oh, that's Doodles. That's hard to do. I'm not an artist, not a designer, but that's hard to do, and they've done a really good job doing that. Counter to that, I just don't understand. I don't know how they monetize it. Not to say, oh, what's it mean for holders, but what's it mean for holders? I do think alignment with the holder base is important. You want to keep those raving fans. You want people to keep creating art and talking about your brand on the timeline. What is someone that's holding a doodle get or a doopy get that someone who doesn't have access to this platform? And how do they build a business out? How do they monetize it? How does it help them sustain the brand for decades to come? And even if they do, how do they protect themselves from the next update of Claude or ChatGPT or Grok or any of the LLMs from basically doing the same thing? Like it's changing and evolving so fast. I know it's not perfect yet. Like if I put my PFP into any of the existing LLMs and say, hey, turn me into a doodle, it's probably not going to be great. At least it's not going to one shot it. It might get there with some prompting, but I think it's probably more likely than not that fast forward 6 months to a year and any of the basic generic LLMs are going to be able to do the same thing as some of these, specific use case ones are, like their launch with Doodles AI. I'm open to being wrong there. And for Doodles case, I hope I am. Those are the questions I would have. So I'll be following along. I'll be rooting for it. I'll give it a try. I'll doodlefy myself and some other images maybe when it launches, assuming it is public. Maybe you have to have I would even further question like what's the monetization model if you have to be a holder to use it. So I'm not saying that should be the case. I don't think it should be gated, but what does it do for holders, and when and where, how does this generate revenue or help the business and the brand sustain? Joey, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of had the same thoughts as you when I've been sharing some of this stuff in the war room as it's been popping up. It's like, you've got that team that left Doodles at Nuco doing image generation as well as other story stuff, right? And then you've got Doodles doing image generation. And it's like, how do these, and I also shared a video today from Instagram of NVIDIA, they created like a video game based on the Matrix or something using all AI. And it's just, you try to think like, is Doodles a big enough household brand where people are going to be like, man, instead of using NVIDIA's AI system and Claude and ChatGPT and all these other.
No, the answer is no. The answer is no. Like people aren't going to use. I mean, maybe if it's the only way you can get this is with the Doodles AI platform today, and that very well could be the case at launch. I don't think that'll be the case in 6 to 12 months. And especially for those people who are already paying $20 for Claude or ChatGPT or one of the $200 pro subscriptions, I don't see them adding another.
Adobe has AI built right into it. Adobe Photoshop has AI built into it right now too. So it's like, if you're a creator using Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop, like I'm sure there's a way that you could teach these image generators, like here are Doodles characters. I want you to turn me into this, right? Like, and I don't think there's a way to proprietarily tell these other AI models, like you can't ever turn somebody into a doodle, right? So, I mean, I think that was kind of the same feedback I had about Nuco and their whole like image generation system of having to buy credits to like, use their system when it's like, I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT and I make all kinds of stuff. So I don't know where Doodles is going anymore. I mean, I think it's cool they're continuing to try to build stuff, but I don't know how this is going to make doodles relevant again.
Well, the good news is we might be able to find out. Appreciate Maria Sharon. Incog dropped there's a Doodles Discord session coming up later today. The post says 2021 vibes with Evan, or also known as Tulip, who just is a co-founder, but just recently didn't rejoin the team, but re-engaged. I assume he was like just sat on the board, and now he's getting back in as a more like active builder or active advisor, I think is the term he used. Plus Pocky and Dude Lifts, friend of the show. Dude Lifts, all-time great person in the space. Was working with Flow for a couple years and just recently left Flow and joined the Doodles team. And then Jarrett Knapp is their COO. That's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, 8:30 London time, or 7:30 a.m. if you're in Australia. So that will probably get some more information about Doodles AI, what it means, how they're going to monetize it, what, if anything, it means for holders. And we'll follow back up on that when we get more info. But yeah, I think my concern for really anyone building an AI, it's not just Doodles, it's anyone building an AI, is why wouldn't, unless it's just too small and too niche, why wouldn't the big LLMs just introduce this as a feature in a few months? I mean, they're taking out multi-billion-dollar SaaS companies. It's hard for me to envision them not squishing some AI startups like Fly. Sorry for the visual. I had asked if the Doodles AI package is the same as the Nuco Red Hood crew. I mean, they all work together. Seems the same. Maybe same but different. Good call out. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up some chat. Got more of a private conversation. I'll let you guys figure that out. But the Diablito also speaking of AI, created his first AI movie. Congratulations. What'd you use? I'm curious what you used to create your AI video. And this is kind of like I think, I'm not going to say tools are becoming commoditized. That's too aggressive. The paid versions are definitely superior than the free versions. And they're getting so good. They're getting so good that, I don't know, maybe this was a lot of back and forth and revising it several times, or I wouldn't be surprised. Like, yeah, I just typed in a prompt and it one-shotted this video. Like, that's how good it's getting. Is not only is like, even when some of the specific like video platforms were on a comparable level, you needed to be really good prompter. You needed to know what you're doing, and it took a lot of back and forth. Now it's drop your image and say, hey, here's what I want, and it's spitting out pretty good results, pretty impressive, shocking results. And today is the worst the technology will be moving forward. He said he uses Grok to do a 6-second clip and then iMovie to put them together. Oh, that's cool. So Grok, I'm guessing Grok is limited to those 6-second clips. I've not done, I guess I've done some Grok Imagine maybe in like comments, but it's not been a focus. Also, Joey, you'd be glad to know that since I was talking about the Jets in Discord, it's now trending on my X feed. One of the spaces is Jets commute filling out the roster. So yeah, we're fully embracing best ball season. Not just NFL. I'm going to do a MLB best ball draft today because I have a keeper league I joined. I'm taking over a banded team, and I need to figure some stuff out because I am far from being figured out. I definitely have not been paying nearly enough attention to baseball to be competing, but I'm going to have some fun with it. If you have Super Grok, you can get longer, but they're limited to 6 seconds for premium. How much, and this is a question I actually had the other day, is I went to find what the current X Premium, X Premium Plus, Grok, very confusing to even figure out what the current tiers are with those models. Do you know off the top of your head how much is Super Grok? And do you get Super Grok by going Premium Plus? Can you just buy it? I wasn't able to find a straight answer on on
See, it says
pricing.
$30. It says X Premium is $8. X Premium Plus is $40. And then Super Grok standalone is $30 or $300 for the year.
But standalone, is it included in Premium Plus?
In Premium Plus, for $40 a month or $395 a year, you get top level Grok access, priority, and no ads. So it appears Super Grok is included in X Premium Plus.
Okay, that helps. So I don't know. I wasn't looking to add another subscription to my AI portfolio or my AI tool set, but maybe.
Have you used a Frank's subscription thing to make sure you're not paying for subscriptions you don't want?
No. I just cancel my credit cards once a year and then have them send me new ones, and it auto unsubscribes me. A kid, kind of. No, I don't once a year, but
that's how we used to have to cancel our gym memberships because they would never let us out of our
gym memberships are the worst. The worst. I'll FUD Planet Fitness. I was living in downtown Cleveland during the weekdays for a couple of years, actually about a year. And the closest gym was a Planet Fitness I could walk to. There was no other gyms really close. So I joined Planet Fitness. It was fine. It was a fine gym until I moved and went to cancel my membership. And I kid you not, that was the only option I had other than going back to the original gym where I created the membership or initiated the membership and canceling it in person. Like, get out of here. That is the most, this is, it's 2025. I mean, it was like 2022 at the time, but I was like, do you want me to, you tell me to send a fax next? Pretty wild. Anyways, I digress. Grok is absolutely terrible for art generation. Video generation is truly lagging behind, in Dort's opinion. I haven't checked any of the benchmarks recently. I will say, in my very anecdotal personal experiences, image generation is like the one thing keeping me paying for the $20 ChatGPT sub. Pretty much everything else, I've moved over to Claude, or I'm maybe Gemini or Notebook LM if it's specific, or I'm in a Google suite. But for things I would go to like at least a chatbot or an LLM for, or Cowork, something like that, it's almost all Claude except for image generation, and I revert back to ChatGPT because it seems to be the best. Again, my very small sample size, anecdotal sample there, but yeah, I wonder, Dort, if are you using Super Grok or just regular Grok? Because other people are raving about Super Grok in the chat. I'm not going to go there. I just saw, I just saw what Joey shared in the war room, and we've got. I mean, you can go there if you want. I'm not going to try to pour fire on the.
No, that's not why I raised my hand.
PvP founder of PvP, but there's a particular founder that I like. I wonder if there's like a personal grudge or something. Something happened there, because it's definitely maybe not dying on the hill, but definitely standing on a hill for sure. I would just leave it at that. I'm not trying to get in. I'll be the guy observing on the sidelines while the others fight in the ring. Joey, go ahead.
Real quick, when you mentioned the baseball thing, how about Italy, which is full of American players, not Italian players, beating Mexico last night and going 4-0, beating USA and Mexico in back-to-back baseball games to win their pool play.
Yep.
How do you feel about stuff like that? Like literally the Italian roster is all born in the US, but because they have Italian last names or Italian family members.
What is the actual? Is it like, do you have to be your parents have to be Italian citizens?
I don't think the World Baseball Classic is that strict. I mean, like, I just saw an article that Jalen Brunson might play for Team Jamaica in the next international because his grandparents were from Jamaica. So, like, I know in the Olympics I believe you have to have citizenship in the Olympics to play for that country. But for the World Baseball Classic, it seems like more like, oh, my last name ends in a vowel, I'm playing for Italy.
I don't have a big opinion. I think it's probably better this way, so it's more competitive. But yeah, it is like Italy is like the American third team, the B team, the C team. The Gemini AI overview says players in the World Baseball Classic are eligible to represent a country if they are citizens, if they were born there, if they hold permanent residency, or have at least one parent born in or a citizen of that country. So I'm guessing a lot of these Americans who are playing for Italy or Mexico, they have one parent who either was born in that country or is a citizen of that country. Players with grandparental ties may also qualify, and they may represent a country if they are legally eligible for its passport.
We're like really stretching it here.
A little bit. I'm fine with it because
I mean they need the teams, right?
They need the teams, and it's fun, man. I paid for a Fox Sports 1 subscription last night to watch the Venezuela Dominican game, and man, it is electric. These are exhibition games. Like if they say no one cares, like watch one of the games. These players, like it's like watching the playoffs, like maybe more than the playoffs. Especially, it wasn't lost on me that game took place in Miami, and the Marlins, their average attendance is like 1,200 people for a game, and just like it was electric. And the Dominicans are stacked, by the way. I was obviously pulling for the Venezuelans, and both teams, Dominican DR went 4-0, Venezuela went 3-1, and also made the. I think Venezuela now plays Japan. And here's the best news of the World Baseball Classic is the Americans get to beat Canada once again in a meaningful game. It's U.S. versus Canada in the quarterfinals. I hope I'm rooting for a Venezuela American finals. That would be we would have a divided house if that is the case. But
it's a crazy year for international sports. We just had the Winter Olympics, the World Baseball Classic. We have the World Cup this year, and we have the Summer Olympics too, don't we? Because of like it used to be winter and summer alternated every 2 years, but because of COVID, it like
is that what it was? I wondered why.
Yeah, so
it was COVID threw things off. Okay,
yes,
so instead of skipping I got it.
Yeah, it was like we got the Olympics every 2 years, so it'd go winter, summer, but then with COVID, I think it messed it up, and now we're getting winter and summer in the same year. So
that makes sense.
So we got Winter Olympics, World Baseball Classic, World Cup, and Summer Olympics, and 3 of those are all taking place in the U.S. The World Cup, the Summer Olympics, and the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and this is the first time I've ever really been invested into the World Baseball Classic, but I'm a big fan, and I like that they're letting the players play. There's also, I'm not going to go too much deeper on it because we got out of cold open, actually started talking, actual crypto markets and should I long or short during the cold open, and then 43 minutes later we circle back to baseball. I saw that there's a large insurer is insuring all these players against injury. And if they get hurt, the insurance company will cover their salary, I'm guessing, for the time they're out or on the shelf. There is a few players, though, they have some restrictions. And it was like if they were on the IR at the end of last season, or if they're over the age of 37, taking a shot at us olds, they're not eligible for insurance. So there's some stars that aren't playing because they couldn't get insured. But I think it's great. I loved seeing the NHL players in the Olympics, and I'm enjoying the World Baseball Classic very much. It's getting me in baseball mode. I need to get it before the month's out. I want to go hit a spring training game or 2, and may actually take in some baseball games this year. Aspiring nobody, yes, it would have been fun to watch the game together last night. His wife is from the DR. There may not be a team in baseball that would beat this Dominican Republic team. They are loaded with stars. Maybe you could say pitchers. I don't know how deep they go as far as arms, but their lineup is just absolutely stacked. It's pretty incredible. That said,
the pitching staff is stacked too.
Yeah,
I mean they've got Sandy Alcantara, who is one of the he was plays for the Marlins, and he's been like, rumored to be going to all different kinds of other, trades and whatever. They are, they are an incredibly talented team. It's going to come down to them, US. It should come down to DR, Japan, and the US. It should come down to one of those three teams to win it all. But I would never put my money, if I was a betting man, which I don't really bet sports, it's really hard to ever bet against Japan. Like that team, the way they play together, and they're so fundamentally sound, it's really hard to bet against Japan.
I just want to say thank you, Joey, for taking the blame for the baseball talk 40 minutes in. Joey bringing baseball talk 40 minutes in. Shame. To which Dor says, "Who hurt you, Payne? It's the American pastime.
Sorry, Payne.
It's the American pastime. We're in America. It's we're talking baseball today. Un-American to FUD baseball. It is the Summer Olympics are in LA, and Payne is just fully admitting doesn't care anything about baseball. I don't follow baseball per se unless I've got some fantasy sweats on the line, but I'll tune in for the playoffs, and this World Baseball Classic is pretty cool. So if you're completely fading it, check it out. The playoff, now they passed pool phase and they're in the bracket style. It'll be pretty fun. But yeah, the regular season grind, it is just far too long. And I think same thing with the NBA. I think Steve Kerr said this, that he thinks they should shorten the NBA season. 162 games, just way too long for baseball. 82 games, way too long for basketball. When you got a third of the league tanking, it's just that's broken. They need to change something. Aspiring Nobody says, I think I heard my whole block, his whole block heard her screaming last night. Same. It was the most animated I have seen my girlfriend watching anything on TV, any sporting event. Like I did no idea she was really into baseball, but baseball in Dominican and in the DR and in Venezuela is a really, really big deal. And so while it is the American pastime, we've got nothing on these on the DR and Venezuela when it comes to, like, kids are like indoctrinated from a very young age that, here's how you hit a baseball, here's how you throw a baseball. And I appreciate the passion. That said, 8:47 in, I do want to talk a little bit about RWAs.
Wait, hold on. If you haven't had a chance to go to a World Cup game, Cap, with it being back in the US, I would highly suggest it. That's one of the most incredible sporting events I've ever been to.
Yeah.
World Cup games are like a whole different animal. Soccer fans are just on another level.
I agree. I would like to see a World Cup game. I just don't care enough to. My brother was actually talking about taking his boys to go see a game, and I just don't care enough to pay $800 for a ticket. Like, tickets are just insane. If I had gotten tickets somehow without having to buy secondary, maybe, but hard for me to just. First one I saw is Mexico versus South Africa. And the cheapest ticket is $3,200. Like, get out of here.
It's kind of sad.
It's crazy. Like, I guess
like a normal person can't attend. Like I remember when last time the World Cup was here, I went and saw Brazil versus Nigeria at the University of Miami, or Joe Robbie or whatever it was. And the tickets were when we sat 100 level, and the tickets were $40 a piece or $50 a piece to sit 100 level. It's crazy how the middle class has been priced out of sporting events.
I agree. It's a little. I mean, I guess if you're a huge fan, it's like your Super Bowl. I guess obviously there's demand. So who am I to say? But it is. It would be. I wouldn't be going because I got to see this game. I would be going just for the experience, and hard for me to justify dropping a few grand just to take in a World Cup game that I don't. I mean, I'll watch it, but it's not not going to lose any sleep over not going. All that said, the abstract should be live. Crypto King. Yeah, Panic, Gmer, and Hans are over there. Should be live on my account. If not, let me know. But now we did figure it out. We just had to stream the X video from my account. So it's both X video on my account and the Coffee with Captain account, which I'll pull up here in a second. Maybe that's what we need for the Spaces pump. We'll get the other account up here and see how that does. But yeah, quick reset here. We are going to start talking all things. We'll do a market update, then we'll start talking all things RWAs. And I got a couple of deep dives there to get into. Looking forward to getting other thoughts on that as well. Also, since we had Joey up on here, can we get the echo is gone? Is that right? No one heard any echo from Joey today? Hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but
I'm on desktop today. I'm not on my phone. So I wonder if that might make a difference as well.
Could be. I mean, it shouldn't, but yeah, it is. It's been something has been going on as of late. We did get a breaking news as of the show this morning. Before I do market update, I will fly over this to see if anyone knows. TokenWorks, their next project coming soon, CMD. No idea what it is or how it's connected to strategies or punk strategy. But this did just get tweeted out or 11 a.m. Next project coming soon, CMD. Nobody knows what it means, but it's provocative. If anyone, there's an X update for today as well. So if you are, no one that's having trouble finding us is going to hear this anyways. But if you are having issues or to get any audio issues, I'm going to check right now to see if my X Spaces auto updated or has an update. No update available for me. So mine must have already went through or hasn't went through yet. But that always breaks us for the day when those updates go through. Be Epic, thank you very much for the ABX tip. It says the only echo is listening on X and Abstract simultaneously. That makes sense. That should echo. Tell me about ABX. I'm not familiar, but I do appreciate the tip. I also is the logos new in the chat when you tip and it now puts like the Pingu logo or that ABX logo. Is that new or has that always been there? It's always been there. I'm just now seeing it, but yep. So here, let's do this market update, and then we will top of the hour. We will shift into this RWA conversation and a little deeper dive there. But let's run our daily market update, brought to you by Awaken Tax. More on that here in about 19 seconds.
It's market update time. Let's set the play. Powered by Awaken, the smart tax way. From crypto flips to DeFi stacks. They keep it clean. Got your back. Grab your coffee. Let's break it down. Daily update right now.
This is our daily market update brought to you by Awaken Tax. Awaken Tax, the best crypto tax prep software. It's not just me saying this. It is, I don't want to say unanimously, but whether if you've used Coinly or any of those in the past, I can't speak highly enough to check out Awaken Tax. And all of our Coffee with Captain listeners, you can save $50 off Awaken Tax subscription. It's code COFFEE, COFFEE 50. Or if you're already a user, you can still get $50 off. It's return Coffee 50. So either Coffee 50 or return Coffee 50 to get $50 off over at Awaken Tax. And you can even get the 1099 DA support per all these recent regulations for free. You don't even have to be a subscriber to get that 1099 DA support. If you've logged into Coinbase, you've probably gotten that notification, just some new hoops you have to jump through to file your taxes. And if you, especially, I mean, everyone, you share that liberally with your friends, your family, anyone who needs to do some crypto tax prep, share those codes, and would love to. It supports Awaken, it supports the show, and greatly appreciate the Awaken team for supporting our daily market update once again. That said, let's jump into things here. I was talking Cerebro and Aventus as the big movers on the day. If we look at the majors are, I guess we're up a little bit from yesterday. If you remember, my long got stopped out right at 70,000. It's back up a little bit. I did not reopen. I should have. We'd be up $300, but Bitcoin's up 1.5% of the day. ETH up 2% in the day to 2064. BNB up 2%. XRP up 0.47%. Solana up 2.5% to 87. Doge up 2.9%. Hyperliquid, the big winner on the day, it has just been ripping. It's up another 5.5%. It's up 17% on the week. That's the long I should have opened. Now I feel like I'm chasing, but I actually considered before I flip my mindset, no, I should be shorting Cerebro or Aventus. I'm not going to short Aventus. It does look like short term. It could probably continue to run for a bit. So I may short Cerebro. But before I flipped to my mindset that I should short something today, I considered longing hype even with this run up. I think they continue to win. Looking over at NFTs though, let me pull up our friends over at OpenSea here, and we'll share the homepage with that reporting. Whoop. I'll hit the right button. 1,115 shows. One of these days I will get it right. Warplets, no idea what they are, but driving some volume up 2.8%. Hyper's down 2.4%. Pudgy's down 1.6%. Punk's down 1%. Little Pudgy's down 1.4%. DX Terminal tells me there's an OpenSea voyage active. Make sure you go to your voyages if that's a farm you're participating in. A reward program, I should say. Good Vibes Club up 1.3% to 0.81 on their 1 year anniversary, 1 year for Mint. Mutants down basically flat, down 0.3% to 0.82. Apes down 1.5% to 5.37. And must have been an X copy sale drove those up 7.8% on the day. Fidenza's down 9.9%. Someone wants to get out and not taking the WETH bid. Quirky's flat for the first time in a while, 1.17, holding still. And then Pinguish, I saw a few people talking about this on the timeline. I'm guessing it's a newer mint. Probably nothing I'm jumping into, but it's the big winner on the day, up 97%. Does anyone know anything about Pinguish? Let us know. I'm going to do a quick coffee break, and we'll come back to RWAs. But if anyone knows anything about this Pinguish, please let me know, because it is, again, up almost 100% on the day. I'm guessing this had something to do with the suit filed by Perry Ellis Company against Pudgy Penguins, but I'm not certain. There could be something else there. If it's more than just that suit, let us know. But we'll be right back after the break. That was our unsponsored coffee break. Actually, that's if anyone wants to sponsor the coffee break, let us know. We could certainly add that to the inventory. But it just gives me a quick opportunity to go refill the coffee. Yes, someday I will add a coffee machine here in the office, in the studio, but it also gives me a time to do a quick mobile stream drop, and I can just say it's a coffee break. So that said, we are there was so other like flyover news items. There was Netflix acquiring an AI company from Ben Affleck for like $600 million. No idea what they're doing with that. And we also had Myriad apparently leaving Abstract Chain. While I don't have that confirmed, I believe I've seen it. A few people call that out, and Farouk just shared yesterday, going all in on BNB Chain in USD1. Myriad Wallet is going live. New leaderboard and point structure. Finally, an order book. The biggest and most important update since launch is here. Expect a massive spike in users and volumes. It's time to compete. All on BNB Chain, powered by USD1. So I guess, yeah, I take it they're leaving Abstract Chain, not going multi-chain here, rather moving from Abstract to BNB Chain. Interesting. Did not have this on my radar. I'm guessing has something to do with the relationships there. You know, Farouk interviewed Trump and he's been at Mar-a-Lago. I'm guessing there's some World Liberty Fi, USD1, BNB. There's probably some sort of relationship thing there. Or maybe they're looking to tap into, they feel they can compete easier, better in the Asian market, as opposed to Polymarket and Kalshi here, who seemingly have a stranglehold on prediction markets in the US. I don't know. I haven't been farming Myriad. I had an encounter there, did a few things, but I don't know if you have any takes on this, Joey, or feel free to take it whichever direction you'd like. But yeah, anyone have any thoughts on, you can see I'm not even following BNB Chain. How about that? Been here for 5 years and don't even follow BNB Chain. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a nothing burger. It's probably more than it is like, I don't even say bullish or bearish. It's probably bullish, I guess, for Myriad. Certainly bigger users, a lot more liquidity on BNB Chain, so I get all that. But I think my biggest takeaway is bearish Abstract. Like, been saying, like, they really need their flagship DApp. Maybe it's Pudgy World, although I don't know what Pudgy World's going to be doing on chain per se, but maybe it's Pudgy World. And yeah, it just doesn't, not great that they're losing what could be, you know, what has been one of their, I guess you could say, one of their flagship dApps on Abstract. Certainly one that drove daily users, and not great to, I don't know if it was driving a lot of volume per se, but it was driving daily users. A lot of those were like the free points and stuff, but it was driving transactions at least. And now they're taking that book and going to BNB Chain. Joey, go ahead.
I was looking up Penguish when you were
on
your coffee break. And so it looks like the artist is this guy, Octo. Hold on. I walked away from my computer. Looks like the artist is this guy named Octo 0x. Tima posted about them 4 days ago, maybe, or 5 days ago, about how he likes the art. But I can't really find, outside of that, I can't really find much information. I think it's just purely art. I think it's just an art thing.
Interesting.
Because there's no web, there's like when you go to the OpenSea collection, there's no, like in the about section, there's nothing written, right? It just talks about, it's just the mint. There's no link to a website or anything like that. It's just a link to the X account, which is the Penguish account. So it feels like it's just like an art, an artist, Octo 0x, releasing some art, and maybe it is in relation to that whole Pudgy Penguin collection thing. There's a lot of posts on the actual Penguish account, so it's kind of hard to go back, 5 days to find out like if there's something behind this.
Well, I mean, GG's to everyone who got in and picked that up or a minute early.
It was free. I think it was free. So it was, it was guaranteed, was March 7th, limit 1 per wallet for free. First come, first serve, March 7th, 1 per wallet free. Public stage, 1 per wallet free. So it was a free mint.
Congrats. Speaking of TMA, and I don't know if this is a free mint or not. Probably not a free mint, but this was recently shared as well. Smashers NFT. They say do your own research. I'm just seeing this. I've not applied for whitelist or anything, but they gave away this already passed, so don't worry about hitting the like repost. But if you want to go check it out, I did pin it up top. Smashers NFT says story begins here for everyone exclusively on Base. New solution for DeFi with play to earn, backed by Redacted. That's all I know. You know what I know. I'll give it a follow and pay attention, but looks like a PFP.
Reminds me of Mechaverse a little, right?
New,
like the
kind of
style,
like an anime mechaverse, maybe. I don't know. A new game changer for your favorite blue blockchain. Looks like, I mean, my assumption is some sort of like PFP, but then tied into a DeFi product. I'm all for new experimentation and new stuff. I like the tying it into DeFi or tying it into a real product. Mayhem says bring back collections just for fun. I also it is I guess good to see just art pump every once in a while. I.e. Pinguish. I'm guessing it's just art. I'm not rushing out. They're certainly not at 0.04. Might I have minted these if I saw it for free? Sure. And I guess that's probably the point to drive home as we're talking market updates is there's money to be made here. I mean, there's been 42 ETH of volume on this. Like I said, floor's up 100% in the last day. Congrats again to everyone who got in on that free mint. The collection size is only 1,444. So low supply, free mint, but pump it up to 0.04 in this market is not nothing. So congratulations. And yeah, I'm for both. More art, more art, as well as more experimentation on chain with DeFi products like we might be seeing with that Smashers. Couldn't think of the name of it for a second. Go ahead, Joey.
There was also, which you didn't. Oh, the echo came back for me for a second there. And I switched to my mobile phone from desktop. The Del Mundos just had a 3 ETH sale on one of their rares, and it's back up to 0.083. I mean, the all-time high was 0.16. Then it went all the way back down to like 0.0. I want to say like 0.05 or something, and now it's back to 0.08. But yeah, there's been a lot of like trait sales in the 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and then that big 3 sale on Del Mundo. So while it's down 50% from its all-time high, that was another one that you could have got in for $1 or $2 that's now sitting back at 0.08.
Yeah, no. Again, congrats to those. Even if you haven't took your gains yet, still up big for mint. Congrats to all. And I have a feeling, actually, I think Pinguish was on the royalty report yesterday, but if not, I'm guessing they'll be on that royalty report next week. These new collections, low price or free, that are actually making some money because they're on a royalty protected contract. Shout out to the team at Unvault. If you missed yesterday's show, you can catch a recording. Last week we did an actual interview with Aaron and Ernest. They also have a space later today if you want to get more details there. My ex news was talking Pudgy World and Good Vibes Club. Their 1-year anniversary. They're now up, by the way, to over 100 badges. One collector unlocked all 101 for a unique 1 of 1. And Adam Weitzman scooped the iconic Vibe Foot for 50 ETH. Did we know that? Was that recently? When did he buy Vibe Foot?
That was like I feel like that was like a month ago now that he bought. So he first bought the Vibe Foot, which is the furry one.
Mm-hmm.
Then he came back and then bought a whole then bought like a whole lot of them. But his first entry into Good Vibes Club was negotiating that deal for the Vibe Foot.
I will say I love the merch. Maybe the most comfortable hoodie I have is my hoodie that was brought to you by Good Vibes Club. And one of my favorite, if not my favorite, honorary. Jesus. Need more coffee. But let's do this. Let's shift things over to RWAs. I got a couple of deeper dives on the topic. And if there's any other news items, any other topics, we're not going to talk about Keaton Mitchell signing with the Chargers. Was not looking for that. I was looking for a better landing spot for Keaton Mitchell. Not excited to see him eat into Amari and Hampton, but such is life. Can't win them all. But he could. I mean, in that offense, he could be absolutely electric with Mike McCarthy calling plays. Anyways, digressions all day today. Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been a year since Good Vibes Club minted. The year has flown. What's that?
Are we not talking about Daniel Jones getting $44 million a year?
I mean, guys collected $300 million. What a time to be a NFL football player, I guess. Talk about money printer.
I wonder if Kirk Cousins is his agent.
Yeah, right. Kirk Cousins and him probably share an agent. I don't know. I was going to share a Bloomberg article, but I don't have a sub. So let me see. I'm sure there's another one on the topic. Talking about RWAs and 26 billion now been tokenized, up 4x in the last year, and it's just getting started. Nasdaq, the second largest stock exchange on Earth, just announced partnership with Kraken to build an equities transformation gateway, they're calling it. Blue chip stocks like Nvidia, Tesla, and Apple are all going on chain, 24/7 trading, atomic settlement, voting rights, and dividends preserved. In Kraken's X stocks platform has already processed over 25 billion in tokenized equity transactions. It's not a white paper. This is Nasdaq coming to our crypto house. Announced March 9th, Nasdaq partnered with Payword, which is Kraken's parent, on X stocks equity transformation gateway. This will connect Nasdaq's regulated market infrastructure to decentralized blockchain ecosystems. X stocks already exists. What it is it's Kraken's tokenized equity platform. It is currently operational, as I mentioned, over 25 billion already and trades already processed. It's mostly blue chips for now, but I think they continue to add to that. This will allow tokenized equities to move between permissioned, institutional regulated and permissionless public blockchain environments. Think of it as a bridge between Wall Street and Web3. Token holders get the same rights as traditional shareholders, so voting and dividends, backed one-to-one by actual securities, not derivatives. Real shares on chain, and this is a big deal. It's not just someone holding these and putting them on chain and saying you hold a derivative of this. It's actually backed one-to-one by the securities, and those token holders will get. I'm curious. I'm guessing it'll all be done inside the platform as far as dividends go and voting, but not a hyperbole. I actually think share voting, is one of the things that is prime for disruption. It's very archaic. Usually it's like they mail you a postcard, and I'm guessing the voter participation for those that hold shares is probably on par with like DAO voting. So not that on-chain voting has a great track record, but I do think we could drive more participation in shareholder votes if they were to move that on-chain. Right now, it's going to be launching on ETH and Solana, 24/7. This is Coinbase just announced 24/5. Nasdaq and Kraken here one-upping them and going 24/7. I would imagine Coinbase probably soon follows after, and they go 24/7 as well. This is pending SEC approval. So they're targeting a launch not until early 2027. But the partnership is live now. So I don't know why. I mean, I guess just approval, regulatory stuff isn't why it's going to take so long. But it's everything's coming on chain. Like by the time this launches, I think it's realistic to think this $26 billion RWA on chain market probably 4x again, if not more. I think it will easily be over $100 billion by the time this goes live in 2027. And we probably see not just not just Coinbase, but also probably Robinhood and others will probably move to 24/7 stock trading as well. You don't have to wait. It's good news. You don't have to wait. You can go on Hyperliquid, hit the HIP3 section in the trading terminal, and you can trade 24/7 today on Hyperliquid. I think we'll see more and more of this. more so than like the ability to do it, I think this is big for adoption. We've been talking, what is the next big catalyst that's going to bring more active on-chain participants? And I think bringing more of the TradFi folks into this world and them realizing this is just better. This is better. Trading 24/7 is better than 9:30 to 4:30, 5 days a week. What else might be better on chain? I think it could bring more of those traders, investors from Wall Street, as well as more builders looking to capitalize on these the blockchain technology, the public blockchain that you can. It's always on, and that is. I know maybe easier said than done, and some things are going to be regulated pretty heavily, but that's interesting. Oh, so we talked about this. I didn't realize JP Morgan is getting sued. So this is funny. We're going to come back to RWAs, but Joey distracted me here with this. So we will, if anyone has any questions, thoughts, comments, I will see if I can find another actual article that's not behind Bloomberg's paywall. I mean, I will, I guess, quickly flash up the Kraken blog, their press release. I'm not going to reread it because it's a lot of what's contained here. I just hit on the highlights, but next chapter for tokenized equities is very real and it's happening. It's just, at least as far as Nasdaq and Kraken, not going to happen until 2027. But what is happening now is JP Morgan getting sued over a $328 million crypto Ponzi scheme. I'm going to read this in real time because I'm not familiar with why JP Morgan is getting sued. I am familiar with Goliath Ventures. And it's funny because if you remember, I don't know, it was last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever 90% of crypto Twitter was obsessed over Zach XBT's latest investigation. And, if you missed it, it resulted in an Axiom employee, some kid that previously had worked at like Chick-fil-A and Burger King, was selling information to KOL wallets. So selling inside info, and I think he made like 200 grand off of selling the information that week, where everyone was for the entire week on the edge of our seats, waiting to see what big expose dropped and who was getting popped, what big company was going under. During that time, the feds arrested. I'm trying to find the guy's name in here. Yeah. So class action filed by, I'm guessing, so probably why they're going after Coinbase is, so here's the introduction. This class action against Chase Bank for enabling a massive cryptocurrency fraudulent scheme orchestrated by Goliath Ventures, a scheme that caused the plaintiff to liquidate his retirement account only to see it vanish after he wired it to Goliath's bank account with Chase. So basically, Goliath had their bank accounts with Chase and they were accepting wires. I'll see if I can find the original. I will find the original case on from the feds. This is directly from the Department of Justice here. Christopher Delgado picked a bad name. It's actually a great name, but doing the name dirty. This was, I don't see a date. It was March 3rd. So a couple weeks ago, 9 days ago, I guess. He was charged with wire fraud and money laundering. It's in the complaint. Delgado, who was the president and CEO, formerly known as Gen Z Ventures. So from January 2023 to January 2026, he operated Goliath as a Ponzi scheme, which is a form of investment fraud, Bernie Madoff style. He solicited victims to invest substantial sums of money under false and fraudulent promises of monthly returns generated through cryptocurrency liquidity pools. Victims were induced to give money to Goliath through personal referrals, professional marketing material, luxury events, charitable sponsorships, and some monthly payments of purported returns, all of which were designed to establish Goliath's bona fides with investors. Based on these false and fraudulent representations, Goliath obtained at least $328 million from investors. The wildest thing to me, when I started looking at this, I was like, why is no one talking about this? And it wasn't just because, Zach had everyone distracted over the kid who was selling KOL wallets for 200 grand. So now people are running with it because Chase got named. CoffeeZilla. Wow, this was on January 25th. CoffeeZilla was early to this. Look at this. January 25th. If you're a client or investor, reach out. January 25th. He got arrested. The feds filed that they arrested him and indicted him on March 3rd. On January 25th. I wonder if CoffeeZilla's investigation is what ultimately tipped the feds off to this. He said he asked founder Chris Delgado about the lack of distribution to investors. He replied, operations will be back to normal December 15th or 18th. It's been a month and payments have reportedly not resumed. Over the course of 4 years, Goliath paid its partners on time and early regarding our distribution period. Not only we provided distribution on time, but any principals, withdrawals or termination agreements ranging from 100K to 15 million, which is our biggest principal withdrawal in early February, has been paid in full. We are currently undergoing a full forensic audit from Goliath inception, and in doing so, wanted to give our auditors a full view of not only operations, but holdings, strategy, implementations, reserves, proof of funds. We have a fiduciary obligation to our partners. I decided to pull finances offline to enable a safe auditing environment and allow the auditor to investigate every transaction the company's ever made. Goliath will be back to normal before the next distribution period, which is between December 15th and 18th. And again, this came out from CoffeeZilla on January 25th. I don't think he actually did the expose on them, or if he did, I missed it. But he was certainly someone apparently reached out to him and said, "Hey, where's our money?" The wild thing though is this Chris Delgado guy had like no following on crypto Twitter. Goliath Ventures hadn't tweeted for like a year. Like, where did they raise this? Who's giving them $328 million? It's just wild to me. Like there was like almost no, unless I guess maybe he scrubbed his social presence, because when I saw it that week, I couldn't find. I'm surprised I didn't see CoffeeZilla's piece, because I saw it on March 3rd, searched about it. I think it was the exact same day that the Axiom, the Zach XPT thing dropped, and yeah, this is so like new court filing showed surrendered luxury vehicles, watches, necklaces, jewelry in the federal case. But again, this was from Fox 35 Orlando, 556 views, 1 like. Like no one was talking about this. I can't even find. I'm searching for his. This was. Oh no, it was before March 3rd, because I sent this out February 27th. So it must have been two full weeks ago when this first hit, and no one's talking about it. The guy's facing 30 years. He stole $328 million, and no one on crypto Twitter was talking about it. Like, how does that even happen? Just, I don't know. Wild to me. Who's giving this kid? No offense, but like, it doesn't scream, oh, this is probably a good steward of millions of dollars. Again, this is Fox News out of Orlando. Ran with it. I'll pin some of these links up top here, but yeah, $300 million Ponzi scheme, facing 30 years. And now, not only is he facing 30 years, but what's going on with my, oh shit, did I freeze? Uh-oh. Let me close some tabs. One of these tabs has got me throttled here, apparently. Those Fox News websites and their video tabs, man, it's like a virus. Just lock up your computer. I think I'm still bouncy. Give me 1 second. Let me get the, make sure I don't have anything else open. Yeah. I think we're good. We'll probably definitely get more media attention now that Chase has been named. And I'm guessing it's because they had some sort of duty to make sure this was legitimate user and not just KYC, but KML or anti-money laundering rules and laws. I'm reading this post again, then we'll go back to Joey here. But again, according to the complaint, they raised $328 million from roughly 2,000 investors from 23 to 26. Company promised investors steady monthly returns from crypto trading strategies and liquidity pools. Prosecutors say the business operated like classic Ponzi structure where new investors' money was used to pay the early investors while the rest of the funds were diverted elsewhere. And ultimately, they ran out of money. Investors, which again, that's how I believe every Ponzi scheme has ended. Investors say that over $250 million flowed through JP Morgan business bank account controlled by the company. From there, large amounts of money were transferred to Coinbase wallets and crypto platforms. The lawsuit claims JP Morgan allowed the transactions to continue despite warning signs and unusual activity linked to the accounts. Investors argued that the bank should have flagged or stopped the transfers earlier. According to prosecutors, only a small portion of funds were actually used for crypto trading. The rest were allegedly spent on luxury homes, travel, events, and payments used to keep the scheme running. The alleged fraud began to collapse when investors started requesting withdrawals and payments slowed down. Authorities later froze assets and placed the company into receivership while investigators traced where the money went. The case is now expanding beyond the people who ran the scheme. The lawsuit argues that traditional banking channels were a key part of how the money moved because most investor deposits first passed through normal bank accounts before being sent to crypto exchanges. And this raises a bigger question. If over 250 million can move through accounts at the world's largest bank during a Ponzi scheme, what exactly are the monitoring systems inside these banks designed to catch? Not a hyperbole. I wonder, had all this been done on chain, it probably gets caught sooner than later, whether it be Zach or someone else like Zach finds out about this. It's obfuscated when it goes to the banks. We're relying on banks to catch this stuff when malicious, fraudulent activities taking place, where if it's on a general public ledger, it's anyone who can read block scan can figure it out. Like, I'm not saying this has anything to do with Clarity Act and getting these bills passed. Unrelated, but doesn't hurt crypto's view when people say, "Oh, crypto's for," the naysayers say, "Oh, it's just for scammers and criminals." Well, nothing's like cash for scammers and criminals. And in this case, here's 300 million got ran through a bank, and the bank didn't throw up any red flags. Joey, go ahead.
I get my question is, like, how do people in 2026 still think they're going to get away with stuff like this? Like, was this like you woke up one day and you're like, you know what? I'm going to try to steal $300 million just to live the best life I can for 6 months to a year, and then I'll just go to prison for the rest of my life. Like, I just, with the way everything is monitored nowadays, like, think about how old the Murdoch, the Bernie Murdoch Ponzi scheme is. Like, that's, what is that, 20 years old now? Right? Like, I actually went to the auction they held in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, when they were out auctioning off all his assets. And it's like, you couldn't get away with it when we had less technology, less cameras, less tracking, less AI 20 years ago, but you think you're going to get away with it today. Like, is it just like, I'm YOLOing my life? And,
Yeah, so Madoff was arrested December of 2008. So yeah, it's been almost 20 years. And
the monitoring is better. The security is better. The tracking is better. So it's
could be. Should be better.
How do you think, like, this person, that's what I'm saying. This person just had to be like, you know what? I'm going to live my life for 6 months to a year, and then I'll go to prison. Because, like, you can't think you're going to get away with this. Can you?
I mean, I guess he did for a few years. He did for 2 years or so until he got caught. I don't know, man. I don't have that. It's hard for me to put myself in that criminal mind. But my guess is, I don't know. My guess is like greed, ego. I don't know. Like, it starts out something small, and maybe they had like real plans to do good things, and then they
started with good intentions.
Possibly, yeah, or it's just Dunning-Kruger. Yeah, that idiots, dumb people think they're actually smart. Very well could be. It's like the guy who.
I mean, he can't be dumb though. I mean, he convinced over 2,000 people. Like that's what you think about too. Like, I like to think I'm pretty good at sales, and I've sold a lot of stuff in my life, like $1 million businesses. But I don't know if I could convince over 2,000 people to give me a combined $300 million to invest. Like, he can't be that dumb.
Yeah, and those are big checks. I mean, I'm sure some were 7 figures, but the average check is over $164,000. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't know. Not only is like the tracking better today, you would think like apparently not, but you would think more people are savvier today to this sort of stuff and going to question things like this. But how they typically work is the early investors making crazy returns. And then so you have someone that puts in a check for 200 grand and they get 200 grand back in 6 months. Like, holy shit, I just doubled my money. And they tell their friends, and then they tell their friends. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's not even the kid who started the thing. It's just word of mouth referrals because people are printing off of it. It was just wild to me. I couldn't, other than like that CoffeeZilla post, I couldn't find anything on X regarding this. But it looks like everything took place off of crypto Twitter as far as the raising of $328 million. But
is the class action against, if I listen to
Chase.
what you said correctly, yeah, the class action against Chase is basically like you didn't stop it, right? Like you didn't realize what was happening and you allowed this to happen. So we're saying you're at fault because your security protocols didn't stop it.
Exactly. Yep. Lawsuit claims JP Morgan allowed the transaction to continue despite warning signs and unusual activity. Investors argue the bank should have flagged or stopped the transfers earlier. According to prosecutors, only a small portion of the funds were actually used for crypto trading. The rest allegedly spent on luxury homes, travel, events, and payments used to keep the scheme running. So, yeah.
I wonder how hard that is to prove, though. Like, you probably, like, how somebody, whoever's leading this, got to be some type of, financial, got to hire some type of forensic accountants, or I don't know. But like, how hard? I wonder how hard it is to prove to actually get money from Chase that you didn't do your job as a federally insured financial institution. I wonder how difficult that is to prove, or does this end up just becoming one of those things where they just end up settling and say, all right, we'll give everybody so much on the dollar.
I bet they settle. Yeah, my guess would be they settle. I don't know, but yeah, that would be my guess is they end up settling here and move on. Not saying it's a drop in the bucket. It's not, but for a bank like Chase, probably a drop in the bucket to settle and be done with this, as opposed to dragging it out. But yeah, as far as like, it's also probably easier to get that information now because they don't have to go, like, the feds are on the case. Like the forensic accountants are already on the case. Like this is going to be, the criminal charges are being filed. Therefore, if a judge finds that, well, yeah, all this information is here, and yeah, Chase should have thrown up some red flags. My bet would be they sprint towards a settlement, but I don't know for sure. Interesting nevertheless, and hopefully no one got caught by that. And if you're, the old adage, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. Definitely holds true for crypto Ponzi schemes. Like a real, not Ponzi scheme like we're calling it a Ponzi, but like an actual real life Ponzi scheme. By the definition of the Ponzi scheme here is it's wild. The amount's just the wildest thing to be. $328 million from 2,000 investors is pretty crazy. That said, we were talking RWAs. It's not just Kraken, obviously. This market is absolutely exploding. Kraken and Nasdaq will add to the explosion. But I would like to, we're hitting our home stretch here. If there's any other thoughts, comments, whether it be on crypto Ponzi schemes and Goliath Ventures or Chase or any of the other topics today, throw your questions, comments in the chat, or throw a request to join us on stage. Would be happy to have you join the conversation. And in the interim, while we field those comments and questions, going to play in a. That's actually I'm still waiting for the final. We haven't finalized the keeping it real, get real. We need the best title here. We're gonna call it keeping it real today. Speaking of real world assets, we'll be right back.
Buying domains was low, Doma changing the game. One bridge, one standard, now the systems move the same. Registrar, stay central, keep the trust and control. DNS and compliance, still they play the key role. Traded on chain, let new markets arise. Domain value unlocked. Welcome to Domain Fi.
Another banger from Payne. Before we get into today's RWA segment, though, a word from our partners over at Doma. This segment is brought to you by Doma Protocol. It's the world's first DNS-compliant blockchain, bringing internet domains on-chain as real-world assets. Think about this. You own a premium domain. Right now, it just sits there. Doma changes that. They turn your domains into programmable, yield-bearing assets you can trade, fractionalize, lend against, integrate into DeFi. They're ICANN compliant, no bridges, no workarounds. Doma is bringing 46 million domains into the RWA era. Learn more about it at doma.xyz. Also, for those of you that are attending Bitcoin Vegas, hit us up. We've got some, actually, we might be able to get some discount codes for Bitcoin Vegas, but we certainly have some hookups for Dominion, is the Doma conference that is adjacent to Bitcoin Las Vegas, and looking forward to that. I think myself, maybe me and Payne both will be attending, and would love to see some of you out there in real time. But this is, what do you think hits better? This is keeping it real. This is get real. We're incorporating the word real for this RWA segment. Still soliciting best suggestions. If Payne doesn't want to run his rapper name for the poll in the newsletter on Saturday, maybe we run it for what this segment should be called. But back to this RWA market that just crossed 26 billion. This tokenization era is no longer theoretical. It is happening. Fourfold increase. A year ago, it was just 6.5 billion. We now have not one, not two, not three, not four, 6 separate asset classes that have all passed over the $1 billion milestone, from BlackRock to Franklin Templeton, now Nasdaq, all building on-chain treasuries, private credit, corporate bonds, commodities, all going digital. The $360 billion market that hadn't been touched yet is this domain asset class that Doma is bringing on chain. But bigger picture wise, again, 4x growth from just 6.5 billion last year. I said it will probably 4x again between now and 2027 when the Nasdaq Kraken partnership goes live. I would bet it probably happens a lot earlier than that. I would say probably within the next year, we 4x again to over 100 billion, just because it's coming from all angles. It's not just retail driven speculation, but the institutions are absolutely coming on chain. Got large blocks of T-bills. You got private credit portfolios, all looking for on-chain settlement efficiency on chain. BlackRock, they have Buildle, the tokenized money market fund. It's now the largest tokenized treasury product backed by short duration U.S. government securities. You got Franklin Templeton, their on-chain government security program, which expanded globally. It's one of the longest running institutional RWA plays. And Nasdaq and Kraken stocks we were talking about earlier. That's X stocks from Kraken. 25 billion already transacted, and that Nasdaq partnership expected to go live in early 2027. And then last but not least, some of the OGs, Ondo, Centrifuge, Maple Finance, DeFi native RWA layers connecting on-chain capital to real world credit markets. And I'd be remiss if I didn't at least talk about the collectible markets, things like BZ and Courtyard, who are bringing the Pokemon and the sports cards on chain and unlocking more, not just with their claw pools, but it's just better. It's better, less friction and instant settlements. And now with the most recent BZ update, you can even redeem much more simple and timely. What's missing? yes, I'm bullish with what Doma is doing with domains, and I think you got a real product, real assets, arguably the most efficient assets in history. You're talking these assets that sell for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars if you're AI.com. You're to maintain them, you're talking like $10 to $100 a year if it's a premium domain. So they're taking an extremely efficient asset and unlocking more, making it more productive by bringing it on chain. But beyond that, I mean, we talk cars, houses, this keeping it real or get real thesis. Everyone is bringing these real world assets on chain. I mean, if we can tokenize treasuries and Apple stock and corporate bonds, why not domains would be my question. But what else? What other RWAs? I've been saying cars for a while. I think housing would be. I'd love to see real estate make it on chain. I know there's other regulations that come into place there from a local municipal standpoint. But yeah, I think when we say RWAs, is that basically every physical collectible, not just those represented on chain with tokenized version stuff? No, I guess, yes, that would be by definition of real world asset would not necessarily be on chain. When I'm referencing this now 26 billion, that's on chain. So great question, Dort. Yeah, the growth of RWAs on chain, to be more specific, when we're talking RWAs, it's taking these physical assets, these real world assets, and bringing them on chain. But yes, the actual RWA market would be, I guess, by definition, every asset in the world that's physical. So yeah, confusing there. Appreciate the question, because clarification probably be a good thing. Someone just shared a Rally Road being another that was early to the RWA front, whether it be cards, famous high-end sports cards, collectible cards, or even things like dinosaurs. So much can be unlocked when these assets come on chain, and I think when keeping it real, open to ideas for the name of that segment. And we'll be featuring, it's not going to be a Doma talk every week, but we are going to be talking RWAs when we hit on the segment. It is it's not going anywhere. I think, just as I think AI agents are a big mover, a big on-chain, or big catalyst for active crypto participants, I think RWAs are right there with it. And it's probably not going to be any one thing at this point. It's probably going to be a collective of a lot of different things that will lead to people being on chain, not even realizing they're on chain. But I do think that this is, list doesn't include the 320 billion in repos on Canton. Good call. So actually, I mean, if you count Canton, the RWA market is already, it's already 4x once again. We just got to count Canton into our numbers. I think between AI agents, between tokenizing these real world assets, the combination of all the above is going to bring in a wave of participants. Not all of them are going to get deep in the weeds and look to understand blockchain technology. Some certainly will, but they all don't have to. I think that if 10% of the people who end up buying a tokenized stock decide to explore it further, if 1% of those are builders and they look, what can I make more efficient by bringing it on chain? I think that's the sort of stuff that will benefit all those here in the active crypto native builders. True Crypto King, thank you very much for the Pingu tip. Greatly appreciated. And I asked earlier what ABX is. ABX is Aborian Finance, the LP provider for Abstract. Appreciate that once again. Be Epic and Hans, appreciate you all. I saw Kolchik flew up. Kolchik, if you have any thoughts or questions, comments on RWAs, by all means. We did. I don't know if you saw it. We plugged your March Madness bracket the other day. Feel free to, if you got a link, pin that up top as well. But GM, what brought you up this morning?
GM, I just wanted to clarify the March Madness bracket.
Go for it.
It's more of like, did you ever pay like $20? They take all the team names, throw it in a hat, and you pay like $20 a pick, and you draw a team out of the hat, and that's kind of your team for the tournament. It's like that. So you don't have to complete a bracket. You don't even have to know about sports. Like, you don't even have to follow basketball. So you will, mint a team or however many teams you want. And if one of those teams makes it to the final four, then you make it into the money.
Is there any supply restraints? Are all teams have an equal supply? How does the supply work? What are my chances of getting like a 1 seed, for instance?
Well, there's 70 NFTs. There's 68 teams. 2 are instant wins, and then I do giveaways as well. So there's only each team, is only in one time.
Okay, good to know. So small supply. Each team's in there once. I will. You don't have to know basketball. You don't have to know sports at all. You don't have to fill out a bracket. All you got to do is mint and get a good team. Is it instant reveal, or how does the reveal work? When do you find out what team you got?
I've done instant reveal the past 2 years. Most likely I'll stick with that. It seems to work. I've thought about, delayed reveal, but I don't know. I could be persuaded either way.
And I'm scanning your feed, but if you have access to a link about your March Madness bracket, pin that up top if you don't mind. And when is mint? When does it go live?
So it will go live on Monday, because Selection Sunday is this Sunday. So basically, I've got like all of the teams that are possible, and I keep making the teams that are possible. So I just have to stay up all night, basically on Sunday night after they announce who is actually going to be in the tournament. So it'll be live Monday.
Fun. Well, appreciate you sharing. I did find that link. I pinned it up top. Payouts. She mentioned you make it. Any of your team makes it to the final four, you're in the money. First place, if you have the winner, it gets 35%. Second place, 20%. Third and fourth are 12.5%. Fun little on-chain project. And I assume these are tradable, right? Like, you mint it, you end up getting a 1 seed. You can sell it on secondary market, or vice versa. If you wanted to get your team that you're rooting for, or you have a particular team you think is going to win, and you don't mint that team, you could buy on secondary. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Awesome.
Speaking of RWAs, we are bringing brackets on chain. Brackets very much a RWA in my book. Maybe not per Nasdaq or Kraken's book, but we'll say a March Madness bracket is absolutely an RWA, and I'm here for it. So appreciate your clarification and the reminder. We will follow along. We'll drop, if you have a mint link on Monday when we go live, feel free to drop that in the comments. I'll pin it up top as well. And again, thanks so much for coming up and sharing. That said, in home stretch here, as we look to wind things down and might get out of here a few minutes early today. Appreciate y'all being here as always. Thanks so much for the support and helping get things warmed up. What should I short Cerebro? I feel that's where I'm at. It's down a little bit since the show opened. If anyone has any trades of the day suggestions for me, although Advantis is down even bigger from when I first opened. So I should just open shorts on both of them when I first started talking about it. Probably going to pick Cerebro unless anyone has a bold thesis as to why I should not do that. But yeah, we will see. Also, U.S. oil up 10% on the day. Yeah, U.S. oil and CL, which is they're all the same, although one is listed at 116. I'm not sure why U.S. oil is trading at a premium over oil. I'm not a commodities trader, so don't follow me for any financial advice. Just went for some fun, some information, maybe a little bit of education along the way. But and help me pick my trade of the day here. I will. If anyone has a long or a short suggestion, drop it in the comments. That's a great way to play us out, and we'll keep you updated tomorrow if we continue the. If we continue the winnings, we 3 in a row makes it winning streak. So if we If we hit it today, we'll actually officially have a streak. But with that, I'm gonna get you out of here all a little early. Appreciate the time today. We're back live tomorrow. Actually, I'll pin that up top to play us out. Do me a favor, hit the reminder for tomorrow's show. Also, friendly reminder, if you've not yet checked out our newsletter, that comes out on Saturday mornings. Just go to coffeewithcaptain.com and drop your email in there. We don't spam you. You just get one a week. It's a good recap of the week of all things crypto, everything we talked about. Our poll of the week, you can help pick Payne's rapper name or the name of this segment, whichever we decide to run with. But I'm guessing one of those two polls will be in there. And the Friday's CWC is linked in the comments. We pinned up top here in just about 2 seconds, and then I'll play us out. So go hit that reminder if you don't mind. Appreciate it. It does help. X has been challenging. We're going to make sure we do the X updates today and see if we can get things back heated up here on Crypto Twitter. But again, thanks so much for being here, everyone. Appreciate you all. Hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone.